Now, the gentleman you're about to meet is also a teacher. Did I mention that? He's a teacher. In fact, he teaches at UCLA. In fact, he's a professor. In fact, he's really smart, just like all of you. And so, he's going to come out and not only play music for you, but he's going to probably teach us a lot of things today. I would love to introduce right now a brilliant musician and a wonderful storyteller and a wonderful teacher, Dr., or you could call him Professor, Christoph Bull. Oh, and he's also a really nice guy.
If you don't know me. No, even if you do know me. Thank you so much. It's so great to see you here. What a great crowd. So much color. I love that. And I wanted to go far back in time and play you the oldest piece of music, of Western music that was written down. I'm sure there was music before that, but that's the oldest one that's written down. And let's see how we like it. Yeah, it does sound a little bit like that. I have to admit I changed it a little bit. I added to it. It originally does not have a pedal part, so I added that and I added a little bit of rhythm because I want to have some fun too. So I just took that piece and I made it a little bit more contemporary, but in essence it's that piece. And the way a fugue works is there is a theme and it happens on its own first. And then we add another part, so now it's 2-part. Then we add another part, now it's 3-part. And then we add another part, now it's 4-part. So it gradually builds, just starting with one line. So I'm going to play you the theme, which is just one line. Listen to that. So that's the main theme. Now, the next entrance will be 2 voices playing. I'll play you a little bit of that. So I'm playing 2 parts. Now we're going to play 3 parts. And then I'm going to bring in the pedal. And when the pedal comes in, it's 4 parts. And so on. So it's a very sophisticated style of music where you have one theme and it grows into something much, much bigger. So that was kind of the introduction. Part of the theme is from a German folk song, this part. So listen for that. Bach took a folk song and turned it into a theme for a fugue. And this is one of his most beautiful and most famous ones, the Fugue in G minor by Johann Sebastian Bach. Thank you very much, and I have to compliment you on being a really good audience, because some people think Bach's music is too sophisticated for young people, and you're proving those people wrong. Before I started playing that Bach used a folk song to create this music, and I did a similar thing. I'm from Germany, as some of you might have been able to tell from my funny accent, so I wasn't born here in America, but I came here 20 years ago. But I grew up in Germany, so when I grew up, I knew a lot of folk songs. Do you guys know what folk songs are? Yeah? Wow, that's very excellent. So this gentleman knows the actual definition of a folk song. It's songs that are passed on from generation to generation, often without being written down. So a lot of times they're sung, okay? So that's very good that he knows that. So folk songs are often not necessarily written by a known composer, but just by an anonymous person, and then generation to generation sings those songs. So I created a piece with German folk songs, and I'm going to start by playing you the songs first. The first song is called Innsbruck, about the town of Innsbruck in Austria, and it goes like this. So that's the first theme you're gonna hear in my piece. The second theme is from a song called Horch, was kommt von draußen rein. Anybody can say that? Pretty good. Pretty good. The song is about a guy who sits in his kitchen and a beautiful woman comes by and he thinks it's his girlfriend, and it turns out not to be. So the song sounds very happy, but the text actually isn't so happy. It goes like this. That's that song. It's very pretty, and I played it on a flute sound because I just thought the flute works well for that song. And that's what we organists do. We kind of make decisions as of what sounds to use. It's usually not prescribed. The organist decides what sound to use. Okay, the next song is a piece about bridge over the river Main, which is near Frankfurt, among other places. And anybody who enters that bridge has to dance. That's the story of the song. It goes like this. Alrighty, and then the next song is called Wem Gott will rechte Gunst erweisen. It's a song about God. When God likes somebody, he'll send them in the whole wide world to travel. So God must have liked me for sending me to this beautiful country. Alright, and then the next song is kind of a sad song. It's about death. Ooh. Close with the same song that I started with, Innsbruck. And just as a reminder, it goes like this. big piece called German folk song arrangement. So when I play it, I want you to listen for those little things that I just played you and see if you recognize them. awesome. All right, I'm gonna play you a little bit of music. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Somebody was asking about Beethoven a little bit earlier. And of course, Beethoven is a very, very important composer of the classical period of music. And the classical period of music happened in the 18th century. Okay, we're in the 21st now, so in the 18th century. And that's and the biggest composers of the classical period were Mozart and Beethoven. So Beethoven wrote very little for the organ. He mostly wrote for other instruments like piano, orchestra, all kinds of instruments, but little for the organ. So I decided I'm going to make up a piece based on themes by Beethoven. And so I picked some themes, and the first theme I picked was a very famous one called Für Elise, and it goes like this. And so on. And because I liked that piece, I incorporated it into my piece, but it sounds very different because I like rock and roll music, so I made it sound more like rock. So here's how my piece goes. And at some point, the Für Elise theme comes in, and I want you guys to listen for that. It isn't right away, it's about a minute into the piece. So let's see what happens. Thank you very much. Now, but I'm going to play you the ending of my Beethoven piece, because the other really famous Beethoven melody is called Freude, schöner Götterfunken. That's the German version, but it's also very well known in America as Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee, as a church hymn. And I'm gonna play that hymn for you and see if you recognize it. I did with that theme. So I start with my own music and at some point I bring in the Beethoven theme, and that's what composers sometimes do. They take a pre-existing melody and turn it into something completely different. Let's see what happens. Thank you very much. Okay. So, I don't know the whole piece by memory, but I know a little bit, and actually the melody is in the pedal. I play the melody with my feet. Actually, I'm going to use a different sound. I'm going to use a flute coupled down. So the melody is in the feet, and then the hands play the accompaniment to the melody. Alright, so that's like a very pretty, quiet piece by Brahms. Do we have time for the toccata? Very, very short. So one more piece. The director, Jane Imai, requested it. And you probably know when the director wants something, you better do it, right? So I decided to do that. So I'm gonna conclude. I'm sorry we're out of time for questions, but I'm gonna play one more piece, which is a short piece, and it's the most famous piece ever written for the organ. It's the Toccata in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach. That's right, and you know, because I'm from Germany, I know how that name is pronounced, Bach. And some people here say Bach, but if you go to Germany and you ask for Bach, they'll give you a deodorant, roll on. That's what a Bach is in Germany, so don't say Bach, say Bach. Very good.